Welcome to High School Sports on the Harford Cable Network. I'm Don Morrison. Tonight we are at Harford Technical High School. It is a Susquehanna Division volleyball game between the Fallston Cougars and the host Harford Tech Cobras. Let's talk first of all to Cindy Blackwell. Cindy, the first-year coach at Fallston, although you're certainly not a first-year coach.
Yes, sir. I've coached a few sports, and just recently in the spring, I was actually coaching lacrosse for Harford Tech. So my heart's still here, but I'm coaching the wonderful young ladies over at Fallston.
I'm looking at your record. You're 3-5, but that's deceiving. You won 3 of your last 4. What happened to turn your season around?
Well, I think what happened was our girls really became very dedicated in our drills. We worked on at least 5 things every single time, and we learned from the games where we lost. We have won now 3 of the past 4, and we actually just defeated our hugest rival on Tuesday in 5-game set.
And that's North Harford, a team that Harford Tech had lost to. I know no comparative scores don't mean anything, but certainly that has to be a feather in your cap.
It definitely is, and I was more than proud of them. I told them it's the best game I've ever seen. And I think no matter who it is, you just have to play your best game. I know they're a wonderful team and have wonderful coaching as well, and we just wish that everybody plays well, is safe, and does the very best they can.
So what's the key this afternoon? What do you have to do to win?
We have to play our own game, and we will.
Well, it should be fun. Hang with me a second. I'm going to come and talk to Sherry Billings. Sherry, another veteran coach. You've coached many different places. You've been here at Harford Tech for a while. Tell me about coaching at Harford Tech, the difference it is having young ladies who come from all over the county, and they really meet up only when they're going to school.
Well, I have to start from scratch at each season to get the kids ready and to understand the game and kind of bond together, because they don't have friends that they come to school with. So we have to create our own family here, and I think the girls really buy into that because we start before school starts. So it's nice to have those teammates that you can kind of depend on in the hallways and in your classrooms.
Well, very good. You're 6-2, a good record, but you did lose to North Harford, so that's a little tough facing a team that beat North Harford.
That was a real tough game. We played really well against them, and we just choked at the end and didn't get to finish the game out. So I think if we continue to serve and pass well, we'll be good for tonight.
Now, Sherry, you have taken 2 teams out of the Susquehanna up to the Chesapeake. Now, vice versa, this time you've dropped down from the Chesapeake to the Susquehanna. I know your goal is to get back up with the big boys.
It certainly is, and it's kind of nice to have a little leeway down here in the Susquehanna division. It's not as much pressure to win all the time to keep up in that division. So I'm really glad that we're playing well and playing our game for most of the time.
As I asked Coach Blackwell, what's the key tonight? What do you have to do?
Good serving. Good serving. We have pretty good passing, so I'm not going to jinx us, and I hope we need to have good passing today too.
Thank you, Coach Billings. Thank you, Coach Blackwell. Best of luck to you tonight and for the rest of the year. Stay tuned. It's volleyball, Fallston versus Harford Tech. We're here with you at Harford Technical High School. My partner, Debbie Bosler. Debbie, thank you so much for joining me. Your record in volleyball, let's not talk. Yes, let's do. Hall of Fame at Towson University.
Correct.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you coached at Edgewood for many years, took Edgewood to the 1999 regional championships.
Yeah, it's a sport of my choice for sure. My favorite sport.
You are the director of physical education and athletics.
And health for high school.
And just about everything else in the school system. You're sort of in charge.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, we're ready to go now. Mr. Dennis, I'm hearing you. I will take the headset off. We're underway here, and again, let's go over the rules real quickly, Debbie, if we can. Fallston on the left, Harford Tech on the right.
Yep.
It's rally scoring, meaning that every time you get a point, you get that point. You don't have to wait till you're serving.
Correct. So every time there's a serve, somebody's going to get a point.
And the first point, of course, is by Fallston.
Yep.
Boy, one thing else, I really like the fact that the ceiling here at Harford Tech is fairly high.
Yeah.
Probably higher than most of the gyms in our county. So in volleyball, you certainly want that.
Yeah, one of the complications, though, in this gym is the curtain in the middle that you see is kind of hanging over the net. It's in play. But what that means is if the ball is passed on Harford Tech's side and hits that curtain, it has to come back on their side, and they have to have 1 more of their 3 hits in order to keep it in play and send it over to Fallston's side.
2-1 Harford Tech leading. Well, great serving. We talked to the coaches before the game, and Sherry Billings said the key to this contest is serving.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, she has to be happy.
Yep.
3-1, Harford Tech lead. Ball was in. No, they're saying it's out.
Yep.
Wow. My eyes thought that was in. That shows why I'm not a referee.
We're really far away. I'll give that to you.
Joe Smith's the up referee, and Shannon Luter's the down referee. 3-2 now, as Fallston closes to within 1. Very interesting. You look at the records. Harford Tech 6-2, Fallston 3-5. But Fallston has won 3 of their last 4, including North Harford, whom Harford Tech lost to.
I think Harford Tech lost in 5 though, so that was still a really good match.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way. Sounds like Fallston's coming on strong here.
Well, they are. They're tied now at 3. That was Caitlin Bob, number 3, who was trying to convince the referee that that ball was tipped, but the referee said, "Oh no." Oh, nice play up over the net. Good play by Kerrigan Klim.
Yep.
Debbie, you know, as a taller person, that's something you can go up high, but you can't touch the net.
Correct. With anything.
Yeah, hands, legs, feet, anything.
Hair, if your hair touches the net, they'll
well,
call
I'd have no problem with that. I'd be okay there.
You're good.
I knew there was a reason I was bald. The ball's out of play. Point goes to Harford Tech. They're up by 2 at 5-3. Both these teams in the Susquehanna division, they were in the Chesapeake. Both have dropped down. Kind of interesting. Sherry Billings says she doesn't mind it at this point. It's not quite so competitive, game in and game out. So she can sort of concentrate on the skills rather than every game being a battle.
Right.
Bob with the point. Caitlin Bob. Caitlin, a 10th grader out of Joppatown. She's in the cosmetology program. This young lady, she's about 5'0", 5'2" actually, 3.75 GPA. She's a state champion sprinter, I should say, in track and field. I'm amazed at how these young ladies and young men are into so many different things. You know, but not only athletically, but you look at the GPAs. 3.75 for Bob. Klim has a 4.0. McMillian going to UMBC for mechanical engineering.
Wow.
I can spell it. I can't do it. I can spell it. Victoria Westerman, number 16, one of the starters, a 3.75 GPA. Lauren McCall, 4.25 GPA, and 3.75 for Jada Maddox.
That's impressive.
That is very impressive. And of course, the same thing for Fallston as you look at their program. Soleil Dixon, the senior this year, her 4th year playing volleyball. Used to play basketball, but she came over to the, what would you say, the good guys?
Well, no. I mean, they're 2 different seasons, and volleyball is a really great lead-in to basketball. So.
Very good point. I've always been impressed, and especially with the men, the boys. I would, if I were a coach, I would want a basketball coach. I'd want them to play volleyball.
Yes.
But yet it seems like there's a stigma against playing volleyball by basketball players. I'm not sure. I never understood that.
Hopefully that's changing.
I hope so. I remember the Mitchell boys at Aberdeen back in the 70s and 80s. They played volleyball. They were both 6'7".
Well, you know, volleyball in Harford County, a lot of times the kids come to high school and it's their first experience with volleyball. So it really is kind of a...
Oh, what a great play.
That was great.
That's, again, Kerrigan Klim.
Nice tip.
Sort of a little backhanded flip. She turned her hand sideways and hit it over with a little dink, I guess is the best way to say it. 8-3 now, the big lead for Harford Tech. Three hits to get over. Bob, no, can't do it.
Almost.
8-4. I think we were going over the basic rules, and I think most folks know hit the ball 3 times. The same player can't hit it twice in a row.
Correct.
I think there is an exception at the net, or am I making that up?
Off of a block. A block isn't considered a hit. So if they hit it on a block and it drops down in front of them, they can hit it back up, and it's not a violation.
Okay. Lindsay McFall, one of the captains for Fallston in the game now as a substitute. I understand they're allowed 18 substitutions.
Yes.
Is that each game, or is that for the total of the 3 games?
Each game.
Okay.
Each set.
And speaking of the games, 25 points per game.
Correct.
Best 3 out of 5.
Yep.
If they're tied at 2 games, then the last game is 15.
Yes.
Too far, 8-5 now. Fallston coming back. I like how she sort of turns sideways here, the she being Lindsay McFall.
That is unique. But as you can see how important serving is. My philosophy as a coach is if you can get the serve in on the other side, the other team has a chance of messing it up.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
But
like,
if you don't get it in, then you don't have that chance.
it's like baseball, and Chris Davis, one of my favorite players who just went south this year. If you strike out, you don't put the ball in play, there's no chance.
Right, exactly.
Put the ball in play, see what might happen.
Correct.
So
Nice.
that's a nice serve by Clem, and a nice dig also. That dig was by number 12, Lauren Gabransky. Lauren, a junior. Great play. 8. Now it's 10-5 or 10. Yeah, 10-5 is the
10-5.
score.
Yep.
Harford Tech leading by that double digits. Oh, that's a unique serve.
It is.
She almost looked like she hit it with 2 hands. Watch her this time. Yeah, she is Kerrigan Clem we're talking about. Basketball star, track and field also. Plays club volleyball, 4.0 GPA. She puts both hands up and then hits it with her right hand.
That may be an attempt to be deceptive a little bit, which
I
is
think so.
pretty neat.
Again, thinking about a pitcher who hides the baseball as he's throwing it. The ball seems to come out of nowhere.
Right.
Almost a jump serve, too. Debbie, you can talk about that. Jump serves are very effective, but very difficult to really...
They're good if you can get them consistent, you know. And she's doing a very nice job at getting that ball in play.
But it was 8-5, and so Harford Tech has scored the last 5 points in a row. Here's Clem again.
As you see, when she serves the ball goes flat, meaning that it's like a knuckleball in baseball. So it's moving as it's coming across the net.
Very good point. It doesn't spin at all, so the ball tends to wobble as it's coming towards you.
Right, makes it very hard to receive.
14-5 is the score. And again, it was 8-5 just a moment ago.
The lead in the game can change pretty quickly.
Momentum. How important is that in volleyball?
Extremely important, just like any other, sport.
I think Earl Weaver used to say momentum is next day's starting pitcher. Well, in this case, momentum seems to be Miss Clem.
Right now it does, for sure.
She is serving so well. Now watch out, jinxed her.
I know.
The announcer's jinx.
Oh, phew.
I made it. Oh, nice play at the net. Oh, and a good play also by
no.
in the net.
She hit the net.
Kara McLaughlin, who looked like she made a great play, but charged for being in the net, and that point will go again to Harford Tech. 16-5 is the score. Clem again. Well, that's in. 17-5.
That's one of the best places to hit it, is in between players. And then if you're not communicating.
Fallston is saying, will somebody just get rid of this Clem girl?
Right, exactly.
Gee.
Get it over the net.
And again, you maintain timeout now. Cindy Blackwell calling timeout for Fallston. And again, Debbie, we were talking about you maintain possession in terms of you don't rotate as long as there is no change in ball possession.
Correct.
In other words, if you keep scoring as Harford Tech has done, then Clem can keep serving. If Fallston can get a point, then Clem wouldn't be serving anymore.
Right, she'll rotate out of that position.
Yeah.
But this was smart. You talked about momentum before. I mean, this timeout is honestly to break the momentum of Harford Tech.
And speaking of momentum, when you talk about a team, Fallston has won 3 out of 4, beating North Harford. They're coming in on a winning note. Boy, what a downer, though, when you have a team like Harford Tech that's been in and out.
Right.
Although they're 6-2, you beat North Harford, you think, okay, we beat them. Harford Tech lost to them. And then you find this buzzsaw, Miss Clem.
Any given day.
Any given day.
That's the great thing about athletics.
Yep. And especially when you're talking about young people. You know, professionals, maybe you expect them to give you the same effort every day. But with young people, you just never know.
No, for sure.
Got to go over this time, and does.
Nice.
Fallston needs a point. Good dig, good set. Bob, little left-handed pitch shot.
Good dig.
It's the best volley we've seen the whole game.
Yep.
It's got to go over, and it won't.
Oh, good volley by both teams.
Jada Maddox, number 25 with that kill. Jada's out of Edgewood. She's in the printing and graphics program here, and I have to give them some kudos because they just printed our Edgewood High School Hall of Fame brochure, and what a great job they did.
And it's beautiful.
It is. Now there's a change. In the old days,
Yep.
that touched the net, it would be like a net serve or a let serve. That's just a point.
Actually, in the old days, if you hit the net,
Yeah.
you turn it over. They recently changed that after the NCAA changed it in college level.
So in other words, if it hit the net, then it was the other team gets the ball.
Right.
19-5 is the score, and now it's going to be 20-5. That is now 12 straight points for Harford Tech.
Wow.
All off the serve of Miss Kerrigan Clem. Kerrigan, a senior. Again,
Wow.
touching the net. Wow.
Suppose she's
20.
doing that on purpose?
I don't think so. However, as you said, that ball is just clearing the net, and it knuckles as it goes over.
Yeah.
So I am impressed with Miss Clem. Another point.
Another thing she's
22-5.
also doing is she's serving short and then she's serving long, keeping them guessing.
If you're Fallston, it's like, you know, what was it, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Who are those guys?
There we go. Nice.
That's in.
I don't think,
No, they say it's out.
yeah.
22-6.
Just barely, though.
It
Just
was.
barely.
That was almost on the line. 22-9 now. No, 22-6, excuse me. Fallston finally gets a chance to serve. And it falls in, 22-7.
That's where communication is very, very important when that ball's in between people.
Serving for Fallston is Kara McLaughlin. Kara's senior on this team. And now she's got the ball touching the net going over. 22-8. So 3 straight points for Fallston. Suddenly the worm has turned.
Right.
22-9. Momentum.
There you go. Oh. Harford Tech called a timeout.
Yeah. Saw the change. Sherry Billings said we see the momentum turning. By the way, Kara McLaughlin, a 4.2 student. She wants to go into prosthetics and orthotics.
Oh, wow.
What the heck is that?
Orthotics, like in your shoes.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh, God. She plays for the Baltimore Elite Volleyball Club,
Nice.
Upper Chesapeake VVC, and the Masters Volleyball Academy.
Wow.
So she's an accomplished volleyball player.
A lot of
I like
experience.
I like the eye black beneath the eyes. That's a competitor right there.
I didn't even notice that until you said that.
I notice those things. It's part of my job.
Gotcha.
Bob gets it over.
There we
Good
go.
play.
Nice setup.
And another point for Fallston, making it 22-10. That's 5 straight points for Fallston after Harford Tech had scored, what, 14 straight points.
Looks like Fallston's finding their game. Good passes, good sets, good attack. Another one.
Got to go over. Nice set, Bob. Nope, out of play. 22-11.
In volleyball, when the ball hits the antenna, that's considered out, which is why he called it that way.
Yeah. Strange, in baseball, they call it a foul ball. It hits the foul ball, and it's fair. I don't understand it.
Nice. Oh, get it.
Oh, great play. Isn't it amazing? This has turned around. I mean, it looked like Harford Tech could not lose, and now suddenly, when Clem stopped serving, and they brought in 13, Kara McLaughlin to serve, now it's 22-12. 7 straight points. Bob into the net.
Good try.
22-13. Boy, and you know it as a taller person, being able to leap high and get the ball over the net. Little 5'2", Caitlin Bob. That's very difficult. Is it out? Yes, it is.
She had a good run. Is that
She
Kara?
did that.
Kara
Yep, Kara McLaughlin. 23-13 now, 2 points away from victory. Back to service, Jada Maddox. Jada's a junior out of Edgewood. Oh, that's a great play.
Yep, good return.
Who was that? Was that 12? Laura Gabransky?
I think it was number 1.
Number 1, that was Soleil Dixon. 23-14. And again, we remind you, the old volleyball people like me, you think, well, they got a point, they didn't serve. Yeah, this is rally scoring. That was changed, what, maybe 10 years ago or longer?
I say at least 10.
I like it because it really speeds the game up. Ugh. Out is the
Out.
call. That was close. 23-15. So Fallston has come back to make a game of it. Quinn Hall doing the serving. Quinn as a sophomore.
Ooh, nice. Oh.
No, they're gonna.
Called
Are
her
they
over the
saying
net.
she came over the net? Boy, that was a brilliant play. They looked good in basketball. Didn't count here. 24-15. She didn't touch the net. She just went up over it.
Well, one part of the piece of the ball has to be over the net before you can touch it.
So this is the game point in game 1 for Harford Tech. And there it is, 25-15. Debbie, your assessment of that particular game?
Well, I think serving was critical in these, and I mean for both teams. When Harford Tech pulled ahead, but also when Fallston came back. But like Sherry Billings said, you know, you need serving.
Yeah.
You got to be able to put the ball in play.
Kara McLaughlin, who was the young lady serving the ball for Fallston, had brought them back. But again, you look at Kerrigan Klim, she ran off, let's see, it was, when she started serving, it was 8-5. It ended up being 22-5.
Wow.
I'm not great at math. 22 minus 8. I have to take my shoes off here because it gets into double digits. 22 minus 8. That would be 15, no, 14. 14 straight points. Am I right?
That's great, yes.
Math. There you see the eye black on Kerry McLaughlin. Got a good look at that too. I mean, that shows a competitiveness. I mean, I've never seen a volleyball player wear eye black before.
I think it's a little bit of team unity too, because I think everybody's got it on,
Ah, there you go.
bringing the girls together.
Yeah, I noticed that. Cindy Blackwell. Cindy's one of those coaches who's coached pretty much everywhere and coached almost every sport. She teaches down at a place called, let me see, I've got it on my list somewhere. I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, she teaches at St. James and John Catholic School in Baltimore.
Oh.
And comes up to Fallston every day and runs the practice. And, you know, that's difficult when you're not in a school.
Yes.
And you teach somewhere else all day and then you come out at a different school.
You have to work really hard at building those relationships with the athletes since you're not in the school building.
And Cindy was saying that to me before the game, Coach Blackwell, that part of the reason that they have come on so much in the last 5 games is just that she's been able to build a rapport with her players, and now they really are working together.
Is this her first year coaching?
It is her first year at Fallston.
Okay.
Now she's been around to some other schools in the area, coaching again lacrosse and other sports. Let me see, she gave me a list of the sports that she has coached. See if I can pull this up. She's coached basketball, soccer, volleyball, lacrosse, tennis. Softball, yeah. She's done a little bit of everything. An economics and stats graduate of William & Mary in Virginia, played several varsity sports before becoming a high school math, science, and PE teacher. Coach in the states of Virginia and Maryland.
Nice.
Phew. I thought I couldn't hold a job.
She's been busy.
Yes, I was just kidding, Coach Blackwell. She's in demand everywhere she goes and does a great job. Well, they switch sides now, so Harford Tech will be serving from your left to your right across your TV screen. Fallston in the white visiting uniforms, down 1-0. Remember, it's best 3 of 5, so it's 25 points to a game, and then the first team to win 3. If you win 3 straight, then of course you're the winner.
Yep.
If you go to 2-2, if teams have won each 2, then it's 15 that final game.
Right.
Never understood that. Why? Is that?
I think it's just time.
Makes sense to me.
Actually, one of the reasons that they went to rally scoring was to make it more marketable for TV programs.
Oh, what a great play. Let's see who they gave the point. They gave the point to Harford Tech. They said the ball was out of play. It almost looked like they were able to get it in. Maddie McNear.
Oh, wow. It's an ace.
We love the aces, don't we?
Yep.
Again, you talked about it, getting the ball in play. So just like that, Harford Tech is off to a 2-0 lead. Laura McCall doing the serving, junior. Laura's out of Bel Air area. Nope, that's going to be the point for Harford Tech. I should say for Fallston. No, for Harford Tech. Yeah, 3-0.
Yep.
McCall's in the sports medicine program here. Plays softball. Harford Tech off to a big start at 4-0. Laura has problems in class. She's only a 4.25 GPA student. I can't believe it. Oh, and there's the...
She'll need to work on that.
Yeah. You know, I tell folks that it's nothing. I was a 4.0 student. I had 1.0 in 9th grade and 1.0 in 10th grade. I was 4.0. I think that should count.
I don't think it works that way.
I don't think so. And here's the great serving young lady we had in the first game. This is Kara McLaughlin.
Well, she's off to a good start.
4-2 now. Here's McLaughlin. And this time she doesn't get it across the net. That's that close little fraction of an inch when you hit the ball.
Yep.
Hit on the middle part of the net and came back. So 5-2 is the score. Tech, who won the first game at 25-15. And the serve is Jen McMillian. A nice serve. Is that a skill to be able to land the ball right between the players?
Well, that serve that she served, we talked about a floating serve that's kind of like a knuckleball in baseball. The serve she's doing is a topspin serve. So instead of floating, it dives right after it goes over the net. And the middle is a great place to serve it because you're now in between 6 different players. And again, that communication, if they're not communicating, it's going to end up on the floor.
Wow.
There we go.
Nice play at the net. Oh, good.
Wow.
That's Kerrigan Klim. She can not only serve, but she could actually play the front line as well. Kerrigan Klim.
Definitely controlled play that time.
5'10", 4.0 GPA student looking to play D2 or D3 volleyball and study nursing. I was talking to Sherry Billings about Harford Tech. To me, if folks don't know about Harford Tech, they have, 20 programs of study, I think, now? Everything from graphics to nursing to cosmetology, sports medicine.
Masonry.
Yeah, and carpentry. And you know, it's just, the kids who come here now have to apply.
Yes.
In the old days, let's go back to the 1980s, 90s, you sort of got here because you wanted to come here. Now, you have to have an application process. Kids who come here, I think, have a goal in mind.
Absolutely.
You know, they have, like a program of study they're interested in. It's just a jewel in Harford County is Harford Tech.
Well, and some of the kids, too, aren't necessarily interested in going to college. They want to learn the trades.
Yeah.
There we go.
Point
Nice
for
fight.
Fallston. And the other thing about Harford Tech that I've noticed is that their girls' sports have really improved. In the old days, again, girls' sports weren't really that much of a priority here at Harford Tech.
Right.
That's changed.
Boys' sports, too.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Well, their football team is extraordinary. And Joe Collins, the principal, would say it's all because of him. Joe's a very modest young man. Over the net.
Nope. They're saying Fallston touched the net, number 3.
Ah. So even though Harford Tech was over the net, they said Fallston touched the net first.
Yep.
Point goes to Harford Tech, 9-3. Joe Collins, the former, oops, that's a mishit, which happens.
Yep.
Joe was the former basketball coach. That's how I first met him at Fallston. Tremendous basketball coach. And then he went to Edgewood for a while as assistant principal.
Yep.
Was he there when you were there?
He was.
And now he's at Harford Tech. I think, was he at Fallston at one point also?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I'm maybe making that up. I do that sometimes. New player in is a Victoria Rambo. Unsuccessful on her serve. Check it, I think I was giving you the Harford Tech.
Sorry.
That's actually Zoe Lynch, pardon me. Excuse me, Zoe. You think it's Zoe or Zoe? Maybe Zoe, huh?
Zoe.
Yeah. Out it goes. Point to Harford Tech, 11-4. I'm impressed with the folks in the truck. They're keeping track of the score so well, and they don't even have a scoreboard in front of them. They're very good.
I was wondering who was doing that.
Oh, yeah. That's 2 in a row that Harford Tech has hit into the net. 11-5. You said it. Serving is so important. You've got to get the ball across the net.
Absolutely.
An unforced error is what you don't want to see happen.
Yep.
But you just can't lob it over the net. You have to put something on it. Has to go over now. And does. But it's going to route a play. Just like that. Back comes at 11-6.
You know, you look at the score and you think, wow, there's a big difference, but not really. Not in this game with the rally scoring. You can come back in a heartbeat.
Well, that's a nice play. It won't go over though. 11-7. So again, Harford Tech had this 8-2 lead, and now it's 11-7. Is that Gabransky?
Yep.
That's out. Oh, that's a nice play by Harford Tech. Good job by Jen McMillian. Jen thought it was going to be out, and indeed it was. 12-7. Caitlin Bobb back to serve. Caitlin from the Joppatown area. Now she missed it.
Yep, I think it was out.
And it was out. That's what you call good fortune. She tried to hit the ball, missed it, and it went out. So the point goes to
Fallston.
To Fallston at 11-9 now. I thought it was 12-8 also, but the scoreboard says 12-9.
No, they just fixed it.
Okay, 12-8. Good job in the truck. 12-8 is the score. That's a high floating serve, almost like a changeup.
There we go. Good save.
That was a nice play. Good block at the net, but it doesn't go over. McLaughlin up, blocked the ball well, but it just didn't go over. Point Tech, 13-8. Debbie, we're seeing quality volleyball here. There's good play on both sides.
Yeah, this is fun to watch.
And again, these are Susquehanna Division teams, so if folks are familiar with the Upper Chesapeake Bay Conference, that the Chesapeake Division are the more accomplished teams, at least on a particular year. I understand both these teams dropped down from the Chesapeake from last year.
Right.
Point Tech.
Well, that changes every year, depending on how they do the previous year.
Yeah. Go back to Bob Slagle and Carl Roberts and the people that came up with the idea of the Upper Chesapeake Bay Conference.
Right.
Very controversial, Debbie, as you remember.
It was, yeah.
But it has turned out, in my mind, to be one of the best things that ever happened in local sports.
Oh, well, one of the biggest reasons when the whole conference developed was to improve the quality of play and also to help those smaller schools that maybe struggle to put a team together, help those programs grow.
Yeah.
And they were going to grow because the competition was going to be more equal. And I think it's worked.
Great play by Harford Tech. 15-8 now. I think the Cobras have something to prove a little bit. Yeah, that's Lauren McCall doing the serving. Number 18?
Victoria, I think
Oh,
it's
it's
Victoria.
16, yeah. See, my eyes are failing me. It looked like an 18
Oh,
to me.
get it. Oh.
Beautiful try. And that now makes it 16 to 8. Yeah, Victoria Westerman, sophomore, first-year varsity player out of the North Harford area. She's in the CAD program, computer-aided design. She works with the Hop and Hawks team. Have you seen them perform?
They're amazing.
Oh,
Amazing.
jump rope. Oh, out of play it is. I mean, it sounds, yeah, a jump rope, that's for little kids, right? They do routines. It's
And
like,
tricks.
what in the world?
Yeah. No, they're an impressive group.
Yep. 3.75 GPA student, by the way. Fallston with a point, 16-9.
Except we have number 7.
Yep, that is Avery Skeels. S-K-E-E-L-S, Skeels. That's an old-fashioned serve in.
It was in.
When's the last time you saw an underhanded serve?
It's been a while.
You know,
But
it's
it worked.
It's like a baseball pitcher. We're using an analogy of a changeup. You have a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. They bring in a reliever who throws junk.
Well, it doesn't matter how you serve as long as you get it in, right?
Got to be in. Yeah. It's like Darren O'Day coming in back when Darren O'Day was dealing. 17-10.
Good pass. Nice.
Got to go over, and does.
Here we go. Here's a good rally. Both teams are struggling to get an offense going. Right now, they're just sending free balls, which means they're not attacking it. There was an attack.
Yeah.
First one, I think,
Yeah.
in that rally.
That was Kerrigan Clem. Well, you're right there for about 4 or 5 volleys. It was just, you know, getting the ball back across.
Right.
Timeout. I think that's Fallston timeout. They're trailing 18-10. In danger of going down 2 games to none.
It's a good time to regroup right now.
Well, if you're Harford Tech, I mean, you know that, yeah, Fallston defeated North Harford, and you lost to North Harford. So there's probably a little chip on your shoulder. You're going to say, hey, we're 6-2, you're 3-5. You know, we're going to show you why, you know, we're the superior team.
Right.
So far, it has been Harford Tech. There you see Coach Blackwell talking to her team. Hope you're enjoying this Susquehanna Division volleyball, girls volleyball. Only chance we have all year to bring you girls volleyball. We'll do the boys volleyball tournament at the end of the year where all the teams in Harford County will be competing. Debbie, you know better than I. Are we still the only county that has boys volleyball?
We're not the only county. I think there's a couple others. I think Montgomery County has boys volleyball. I could be wrong again. I could be making that up.
No, I think you're right. But, you know, for so long, I guess Al Seski is the one who brought in boys volleyball back in the 70s. And you wonder why more counties don't have it. It's a very inexpensive sport, relatively.
It is one of the sports, though, that is not recognized by the state.
Really? And that's
Not
why,
girls, boys
Yeah.
volleyball.
Now, the girls do have region championships,
Yes.
but it's amazed me why that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it.
That's a great serve again. That same young lady who was serving for Fallston earlier, Lauren Gabransky, checking no, Kara McLaughlin. Remember, Kara back in the first game was the one that brought Fallston back. They're back to 18-13 now.
Oh, good save. There we
Gotta
go.
go over.
Nice.
Nice job by Fallston.
Setting it up. Good block.
Excellent block. Good recovery by Harford Tech. Diving. Oh, what a great effort.
Good effort.
We get about 4 of the 6 players on the floor. Ends up a losing point, but boy, give them credit for effort. 18-14.
That was a good rally.
It really was. McLaughlin again to serve.
Nice serve.
Does it matter left-handed, right-handed? Does the ball come at you differently in terms of the serve?
I'm sure it does.
Out.
I'm not sure it would be enough to make a difference. It's like looking at a right-handed, left-handed pitcher.
Well,
Boy, we've been comparing volleyball and baseball all night.
Lefties, though, are a different breed of pitchers. They're just weird. They really are. They can't throw the ball straight. The ball goes, you know, even when you try to throw it straight, it ends up cutting or curving.
Mm-hmm. Good try.
Good one, 2014. I forget who the manager was, but he said, if you're breathing and you're left-handed, you've got a job. Think about the left-handers, you know, who pitch into their 40s and late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
(2014). Clem, what
Good
a play.
dig.
What a great dig.
Good dig. Way to keep it in play. Oh.
It can go over. Nope, it won't. 21-14. I guess we should mention that if the ball does hit on your side of the net in the roof, you can still hit it over.
As long as you have another hit.
Yeah. If it hits on the other side, it goes over, hits on the roof on the other side, then no, right?
Correct.
It's a point for the other team.
Correct.
That's a nice little dig. Lauren Gabransky.
Oh.
Harford Tech is just dominating. They're playing so well. Whenever it looks like Fallston is about to rally, Harford Tech seems to have the answer. Jen McMillian now to serve. Jen out of the C-note right area. It's in play.
Good play.
It's out, though. A nice recovery by Fallston, but they just couldn't get it in. 23-14, 2 points away from going up 2 games to none.
That was a really awesome dig out of the net. Those are hard to do. Oh, nice.
Beautiful play. That by McLaughlin. Bob, she was out of bounds when she hit it. Ball at the net. And we ought to say that you can hit the ball out of bounds.
Absolutely.
You can go out beyond that yellow stripe and hit it as long as you get the ball in play on the inside of those antenna. Yep. 23-15 now.
Good dig.
Yep, point for Fallston.
They're coming back.
23-16. Serve so key here. This is Quinn Hall.
Play it. There we go.
Now it's over. And they don't get it over. Not able to get it past the net. 24-15 now. 24-16, I should say. Game point, and guess who's serving? Kerrigan Clem. If I'm Fallston, I'm saying, oh boy. She the young lady in that first game that ran off 14 straight points.
Wow.
Ah, there you go. Fallston, never say die. 24-17.
It was nice to see her go for that. You know, her back was to the net. She went for the score, really.
And the good news is Clem can't serve anymore.
Right.
If Fallston, if Harford Tech gets the ball back.
Yep, she'll rotate out of that position.
Served now by Maddie McNeil. Maddie just recovered from an ankle injury. 24-18. Yep, 24-19.
Good block.
Debbie, in your experience, what's the farthest back you've seen a team come back from?
Oh, man.
I mean, we're looking at game point right now. It's been game point for a while.
I can't even speculate on that. I've seen so many games.
It's tough. And there's another point, 24-20.
Uh-oh. Might be time for a timeout.
Yeah. Sherry Billings is not going to call her timeout right now. How many timeouts? Oh, look, there it is. Boy, great call, Debbie. How many timeouts do you get a game?
You get 3 a game. But she did that intentionally. She's trying to ice the server, waiting for her to get back to the line.
Sort of like football.
Yes.
We've been doing baseball analogies. What was the game where the coach this past weekend tried to ice the kicker who missed the kick? He called timeout, and then he got a second try, and he was successful on the kick. One of the games.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a dumber decision than Frank Reich, whom I love, the ex-Maryland quarterback who allowed Indianapolis to lose by going for it on 4th down. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Floating serve, it's over.
That was a good recovery by Harford Tech. Nice job.
Fighting for game point.
Good pass.
Yeah, is it in? Yes, in, and a 25-20, the victory for Harford Tech. Great comeback by Fallston, all for naught. All right, Debbie, you're down 2 games to none. You know, what can you do? I mean, you have to win 3 straight. How can you convince yourself that, hey, it's still possible? We can get hot and we can win 3 straight.
I think you just have to convince your players that you need to get the serve in. Whether it's hard, whether it's easy, it doesn't matter. Just get it in.
Yeah. Again, we talked about the strikeout analogy. You can't get on base if you strike out. You just walk back to the bench.
Right.
Get the ball in play. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. We certainly have enjoyed bringing this to you. This is just great excitement watching these young ladies compete on this high level. And you would not know, I don't think, Debbie, that this is a Susquehanna Division game. These 2 teams
it's good volleyball.
are good. And remember, they were Chesapeake last year. They both dropped down. I think Harford Tech was 2-12 last year in the Chesapeake, and they dropped them down. We talked briefly about that. That's the way it's set up, that the top team in the Susquehanna and the bottom team in the Chesapeake normally would change places.
Yeah,
Unless they can make a convincing argument that, hey, maybe all my seniors are graduating, so I was maybe 12-2, but I'm not going to have as strong a team next year.
Yeah, they changed that a little bit from when the conference was first initiated. Like you said, it was typically the top Susquehanna team and the bottom Chesapeake team would flip-flop automatically. But then coaches kind of brought it to our attention that, you know, we've lost everybody, you know, to graduation or transfers or whatever. So we're not going to be able to perpetuate our winning streak like we had last year. And so we started accepting, it's not proposals, but
appeals.
Appeals, thank you, where they could say, you know, no, I've lost my entire starting team. I will have, you know, only freshmen and sophomores on my varsity squad. I'd like to stay down in the Susquehanna.
And Debbie, the other great thing I like is that it's not all Chesapeake, Susquehanna for every school. In other words, different sports. You might be very good in, let's say, softball, but not so good in field hockey. So you might find several schools in the Chesapeake in one sport and they're down in the Susquehanna in another. I think that shows a great deal of, let's say, understanding, not just bureaucratic, okay, you're a smaller school, you're going to be in Susquehanna.
Well, athletics is for the kids, right?
Yeah, it is.
So we want to make it an enjoyable experience, and nobody wants to go out and get beat, you know, 25-2 or
and it doesn't do
whatever.
you, winning that game doesn't do you any good either. But
right.
The other thing, too, is that the Chesapeake, Upper Chesapeake League combines Cecil and Harford counties. In years ago, Cecil had a stigma that, you know, some people thought, well, geez, they're not of the same quality as the Harford teams.
They have a lot of smaller schools.
Yeah, but we found out that they, in some of the sports, can compete just as well.
Right.
So pleased that they got into lacrosse.
Yeah,
what's that, maybe
nice.
6-7 years ago?
I don't think it's that long ago.
Really?
No.
And they're doing very well.
They are doing well. Their programs are definitely coming along.
Well, here we go now, the 3rd game.
Nice
Fallston
hit,
desperate.
nice dig.
There she is, Miss Clem. I'm going to call her Miss Clem from now on because I want to make sure that she sees this, that she understands I was giving her praise. She's just a good athlete.
I also want to give recognition to the 2 setters. That's a tough position. You're involved in every play, and you're basically the quarterback. So you're running the floor.
Oh, that's a nice play by Fallston. By the way, Kerrigan wants to be a nurse.
She had a pretty high GPA too, didn't she?
She did, yeah. Like 4.0, 5'10".
Not too shabby.
Not shabby at all.
Ooh.
There's again that
Nice.
net serve, which doesn't mean anything other than it went over.
Wow.
Into that no man's land.
Yep, middle floor.
The old Bermuda Triangle that fell in there.
Certainly where the hole is.
2-1 now. Tech leading in this third game. Jen McMillian with the serve.
There we go.
Miss Klim again.
She's everywhere.
She is something. There you see her, number 13. I always ask folks, did you ever wear number 13? If you were given a choice, would you wear 13?
Not if I was given a choice. 7 was my number.
Yeah.
Lucky 7.
Mickey Mantle? Yeah. Why did you pick 7?
It was my lucky number.
Ah. I mean, there was not anything, not an athlete that you aspired to be?
Nope.
Folks always say that Cal Ripken number 8, that the Ripken number is actually number 7.
Really?
But a guy named Mark Belanger had a number 7, worked for the Orioles, and so Cal Sr. eventually took number 7.
Huh.
But Calvin ended up with 8, and now that's a fairly famous number in Baltimore.
A little bit.
Did you say poor Buck? Is that what you just said?
I said a little bit.
Oh,
Number 8 is a good number.
yeah. Well, 3-4 now. Fallston has a lead, and I believe this might be the first lead they've had all night. Can you do that?
You can do that once when you step back to the line. And that was smart on her part to do that. The toss was not a good toss.
Huh? Oh, great play by Klim. My goodness. She turned and hit that ball behind her head perfectly right in the corner. We're tied at 4. Oh, guess what? She's serving. That's what Falls is saying. Oh no, 13 again.
Well, maybe Fallston adjusted. Okay, go.
And maybe not.
Maybe not.
5-4. No, my point about 13 is in the old days, I don't know if it's still true, but hotels wouldn't have a floor 13. You went from 12 to 14.
Yeah.
Because 13, I think they call it trichodecaphobia, the fear of the number 13.
There we go. There's a pass.
For no real good reason to bring it up, but it just seems in the old days, folks wouldn't wear 13. Now it seems like it's a number that people really cherish getting.
Yeah.
Well, here's number 13 for Harford Tech. Sort of a modified jump serve.
There we go.
Into the net with 6-5. Fallston back within 1.
I don't know what Coach Blackwell said, but
It's like
it was good.
It's like you're walking home. That would motivate me. Marie Olosa.
There we go. Nice serve.
And the point goes for Fallston. We're tied at 6. Yeah, that would motivate me. Win this game or you walk home to Fallston. I'd win. I don't like to walk.
Nice hit.
Caitlin Bob. Good play. The set.
Nice dig.
Jada Maddox with that attempted kill. Block at the net. Did it go over? Nope. 7-6, our second lead for Fallston.
This is Marie Olosa.
Olosa, yeah. She's a junior. McLaughlin with that left-handed play over the net.
Ooh.
Might have been out. Couldn't take the chance.
Close.
7-7. Back to service, Jada Maddox. 5'9", 3.75 GPA student.
Dig out of the net.
Yeah, good play. Not to give up on it. Oh, what a play.
Wow.
Kerrigan Clem had no chance to get it over, but did. It almost looks like she was over the net or into the
Yeah,
net.
or somebody was in it, yeah.
But they're going to say no. They're going to give the point to Harford Tech at 8-7. If a coach had the instant replay or that challenge ability, I think that
Throw the red flag.
Coach Blackwell may have been throwing a red flag that time.
Nice serve.
Nice
Good.
dig.
Yep.
Good play by Maddie McNear. Over it goes. So tough again when you're 5'2" to get up high enough to be able to hit the ball down.
She jumps pretty well, though.
She does. Well, a state champion sprinter, just a great athlete.
Nice
McLaughlin.
serve.
Third lead for Fallston, 9-8. They led, let's see, 4-3. They led 7-6. Now lead 9-8. Oh, it's long.
Yep. Floated out.
Yep. 9-9. High risk, high reward for that kind of serve where if you hit it too hard, it's just going to go too long. It's got to be in there. Here's Bob now with the serve. Bob serves from about 5 feet behind the line. Is there any advantage to doing that?
Not really. If you notice, a lot of the servers are walking up to the line as they're tossing the ball and serving. It just puts a little more power behind the ball.
But Bob that time was again 5 feet. She served it. To me, it would appear like it wouldn't be an advantage. Here's Lindsay McFall.
Nice hit. Oh. Nice catch.
Yeah, it was. Fan in the stands are looking for some high fives and getting them. There she is. Good job. She caught that like a pro. 10-10 now. Tied again.
There you go. Zalosa.
Clem.
She dominates that net when she's in the front row.
She's amazing. She being Clem, Kerrigan Clem. Victoria Westerman, the server, so it's just a sophomore. How the play it goes. So now it's a 2-point lead. 13 points away from winning 3 straight games. Kerrigan Clem.
Impressive.
Very much so. Timeout for Fallston. Again, I don't know the exact now. I think it's 7'3" is the height of the net. And Kerrigan Clem, who's 5'10", she's up over that net.
Well, with her reach, too.
Yeah. Excellent player. Very good athlete. Kerrigan, again, a senior. She would be a student at Seymourton Wright if she weren't taking nursing here at Harford Tech.
Do we know where she's going to school?
Doesn't say here. It says she wants to play D2 or D3 volleyball and study nursing in college. So I'm sure if folks see this tape, there'll be a lot of colleges that would like to have a 4.0 student nurse who,
Definitely.
by the way, happens to play volleyball very well. Westerman to serve again.
Nice pass by Alosa. Good return by Fallston. Whoa, nice block.
Great play. I didn't
Number
catch
three?
who made that hit. Was it 3?
I wanna
Yeah,
say it
that's
was number
Maddie
3.
McNear. So good to see Maddie playing. She had a bad ankle injury that was slowing her down, but now she's back. 13-11.
Oops.
Good play by Bob. It's got to go over. It won't. 13-12. Fallston just won't go away.
No.
You
They're
know,
fighting. I like it.
They're saying we're down 2 games, none, and you know we're in your court. Your fans supporting you, but we're not going to give away easily. Oh, beautiful play. Was that McNear again? I believe it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, number 3.
It's tough to see.
It is. The up official is blocking our view.
Ah.
Get out of the way. I don't think he cares about us yet. 13-13, we are tied again. And it won't go over. A little bit of a casual hit that time. Looking to try to dink it over the net. And now it is Fallston's 4th lead. Again, they led 4-3. They led 7-6.
This is Quinn Hall serving.
9-8, and now they're leading 14-13.
Another kill.
Miss Quinn. Kerrigan Quinn. Now it's 14-14. Serving Lauren McCall. At the net. Point goes to Tech.
Nice serve.
Beautiful serve.
Nice serve. Top spin.
16-14. You made that point, Debbie, that top spin makes the ball dive. And if you hit it just in the right spot between the defenders, almost impossible. 17-14.
Looks like she found the spot.
Here you can see Laura McCall. She's feeling it, as they say.
Nice pass.
Into the net. 18-14. Boy, if you're Fallston, you work hard, you come back, you take a lead, and then all of a sudden, you know, there it goes again. I don't think it's that Fallston is playing poorly. I think Tech is just playing so well.
Their serving has been really tough. They're just finding the holes on the other side of the floor, and Fallston needs to figure out how they can adjust to it.
Yeah, and they have very little time to do it.
Right.
I'm not sure what that cheer was you just saw. They turned to their home crowd and did some kind of a cheer.
A lot of times the JV team who's sitting here in the stands, or the boys team, they'll respond back to it.
Ah. Well, right now they're feeling the victory very close.
Ah, you can't feel that way.
Yeah.
Game's not over.
Yeah, until the fat lady sings, or until, as Yogi Berra would say, it's not over until it's over. That great American philosopher. Well, Yogi is, I think the fat lady's not singing yet, but she's warming up. Yeah, yeah.
No, we have a substitution.
And now this called on the court. Uh-oh, seems like there's a little sweat or water of some kind on the floor. Caitlin Bob doing her imitation of, what is that she's doing? Having
doing
fun.
a little dance.
Cleaning the water with a little dance. Good job, Caitlin. Caitlin Bob.
Another nice serve.
It was. Good try.
Fallston was able to return.
19-15. That'll send number 12, Lauren Gabransky, back to serve. it does go over.
It's a good strong hit, just a little bit too strong.
Just a little strong. And here comes Fallston back again, 19-16. You just have to admire their grit. I mean, it would be easy to give up and say, hey, we're down 2 games and
Absolutely.
down 5 points. Not going to go away easily. Clem with a good hit. Out.
I think that was in.
The referees seem to disagree on that. Who gets the point?
No.
Fallston gets the point. 19-17. It looked like it was out from my eyes here, but maybe it was touched or something.
I think it was touched, but I do think it landed in. Ooh,
Oh, it
nice.
just gets over.
Way to read that, sir.
Wow. Oh, what a nice hit. That could be a momentum changer. Jada Maddox, just when it looked like Fallston was coming back, Jada Maddox made an almost impossible cross-court hit. 2017. McMillian with the serve. Nope, 4 hits. 21-17.
Yep.
So they had closed to 19-17, but now it's back to 21-17. McMillian. And now it's
Tough serve,
22-17. Yeah.
That was going towards the back corner, which is another great spot.
Yeah. Lindsay McFall just couldn't let it go because she didn't know that it was going to be out of bounds, so she had to hit it.
Corners are deep. Got to protect them.
Got to go over, and does.
There we go.
Good play by Quinn Hall.
Nice dig.
Great dig. That was Gabransky who made that dig. And it is. Another, that's Maddox again.
Deep corner.
Wow. Maddox has come up big here in the last minute. 23-17. Within 2 points now of winning 3 straight games.
Crowd's getting into it now.
Oh, they are. Oh, not quite so soon. 23-18. Cougars have a sub coming in. It's Maddie McNear who will be doing the serving.
Fallston needs to put something together here.
Lilia Batten in the ball game also, number 22 for Fallston. Okay, now it hits, yeah, that's what we talked about. It hit the ceiling, or I guess actually that curtain.
Yep.
And that was on the side of Harford Tech. So now this is game point, and guess who's serving?
Yeah.
Ah. Kerrigan Clem.
Nice setup.
Bob with the set. That's a nice double set. Block at the net. Point for Fallston. They're not going away just yet. 24-18, 24-19 actually.
Putting up a good fight.
This is Lillian Batten just in the ball game. Oh, that's a tough place to be. Just into the game, your serve goes long, 25-19. So it's 25-15, it's 25-20, and 25-19. 3 straight games for the Harford Tech Cobras, who win this match and now go to 7-2, 3-5, 3-6 actually. Fallston's record drops to. Debbie, an outstanding volleyball, and Harford Tech, you just have to give them all the credit. They had the serves when they needed.
Yep.
They made the plays when they had to.
Absolutely. I mean, serving was definitely very critical in this game, or in this match. And you know, another critical piece is you have to be able to adjust to that. And Fallston just didn't adjust.
And for Harford Tech, who had lost that match to North Harford after Fallston had defeated North Harford. So this again gets that stigma off their back that, hey, they couldn't beat North Harford, so therefore they couldn't beat Fallston. Well, it just shows today they came out and dominated the contest.
Any given day, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was impressed with both teams. They both played very well. And especially the Harford Tech Cobras, congratulations to them. Debbie Bossler, thank you so much for being here. You have been a pleasure and taking time out of your busy schedule. I certainly appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow, this being Thursday night that we're taping this, at the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame, where you'll be introduced as one of the Edgewood High School Hall of Famers.
Always a great event.
Hall of Fame at Towson, Hall of Fame at Edgewood, Hall of Fame in the Harford County school system, and a modest person too. And soon to be known as the mother of Austin.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Cal Ripken Sr. told me that once. He said, it's a heck of a thing. I'll clean it up. Cal didn't say heck, but
right.
It's a heck of a thing to be known as Cal Ripken's father.
Yes.
Because for all of his life, Cal Ripken had been the star, and now Cal Ripken Jr. was the star.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what the game is coming to, and we're going to have a chance, I hope, to interview some of the stars of the game. We're going to wrap it up for you right now, and let's see, do we have time for an interview? We do, yes, but we'll wrap it up here and come back for the interviews. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're back with you at Harford Tech, where the Harford Tech Cobras have completed a 3-game straight sweep of Fallston. A big win for the Harford Tech Cobras, their 7th win of the year. They're now 7-2. We have with me 2 of the stars. Kerrigan Clem, you served in that second game, I believe it was the second game, 14 straight points. That seemed to turn the whole match around.
Yeah, you know, going back there and serving, it's pretty hard, it's scary, and when everybody gets loud, you just want to get the ball over the net. So I learned to tell myself, I'm going to put it here and I'm going to put it there. So when you choose a spot and you choose that's where I'm going to serve, then you have more confidence, and I think that's what made it good.
Yeah, you told me an interesting story that when you first started playing volleyball here, you couldn't serve. They subbed you out with the libero in to serve. Yet now you're such an accomplished server. Just practice, or was it somebody taught you with combination? How did you become so good at it?
It was definitely a combination. I owe a lot to my club coaches at Baltimore Elite. You know, like I couldn't get the ball over the net. I was really weak, and people were like, you're so tall, how are you so weak? So I practiced and I practiced, and I went through all these different serves, and I finally found the right one.
And we talked about that serve. My partner, Debbie Bossler, was talking about how it's a knuckleball. You call it a float serve. Explain why you do that and how you do it.
I don't spin the ball when I toss it up, and I just hit it with the palm of my hand. So when it goes over, it's just gonna float and then it's gonna drop rather than spin.
It's amazing, and it's hit hard too, so the person receiving the ball doesn't have a whole lot of time to think.
Right. So they think it's just gonna drop in front of them, but it's hard to return, so mostly players swing, and that's how you get a lot of the aces, because the balls get shanked.
I also noticed that it's a two-handed serve where your left hand is also up with your right hand. Is that purposely, does it deceptive, or just comes naturally to you?
Well, I do it on purpose to track the ball, because when you toss it up, you might lose sight of the ball. So this is more of a tracking thing, and then I hit it with my right hand.
Talk about your team. You're a senior. You've been with the team 4 years. I know I don't want to bring this up because it'll make you sad, but it's coming to an end. It's been a great 4 years, I'm sure.
Yeah, when I think about it and that we have 5 more games left, I get really sad, but I'm also blessed to be with this team, probably the best team that I've had in the 4 years that I've been here. And every time I get on the court with those girls, I'm just so happy, and I appreciate them so much.
We talk about you're a C. Milton Wright resident, but you decided to come here. Why?
Definitely the programs, they have so much to offer, and I'm in the nursing program, so when I get out, I'm going to have a CNA and a GNA, and I just feel like I'm going to be so prepared for the workforce, and that's the best thing the Tech does for us.
CNA, GNA, what is that?
It is a certified nursing assistant and a geriatric nursing assistant.
Wonderful. And your goal in life, what do you eventually, I know you want to be a nurse, but what kind of nursing and what would you like to do?
I want to be a physician's assistant, and I would like to work in psychiatrics.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations. Hang right with me.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to talk to your partner, Laura McCall. Laura, a big win tonight. Obviously, they beat North Harford. You lost to North Harford. They came in, I'm sure, thinking they could beat you, but you turned it around. Why?
I think we had played with a lot more confidence today than we did when we played North Harford. We just really let certain servers get to us, but this time we didn't let a server get to us, and we just passed the ball as well as we could.
And great teamwork. I thought, we talked about the stars of the game, but I thought your entire team played well.
Yes, they all played great. We all worked together. We called the ball, and we all knew where the ball was going to go.
And you're from Bel Air now, and again, I'll ask the same question. You decided to come here in sports medicine. Tell me about why you decided to come here and what you want to do with that.
I wanted to come to sports medicine because I want to be a physical therapist, and I figured that would prepare me for college and so that I could get a background in sports medicine.
And looking back at your decision, was it the right decision for you?
It was yes, it was very right because I love my teacher, I love all the people here. It's just a really great school.
Yeah, wonderful. And tomorrow is homecoming, I think, for you guys, and you're excited about that?
Yes, I'm so excited. I love homecoming. It's always so fun.
Well, congratulations to Harvard Tech. They do win tonight. They win by 3 straight games. Won the first game 25-15, then 25-20, and 25-19. So what's from here? What do we want to do? We want to, win the state title? Is that what we're talking about?
We want to get as far as we can. I think this is the most games we've won in a while, and we want to keep playing hard, keep playing aggressive, and play our game 100%.
Well, excellent. Congratulations on the win. Good luck for the rest of the year. Hope you enjoyed it. It was volleyball. The Fallston Cougars coming into Harvard Tech, and Harvard Tech winning it by 3 straight games, going to 7-2 on the year. Don Morrison, my partner Debbie Bossler, thank you for tuning in, and good night, everyone.